As you see here, I should have communicated with Nate, letting him know that we'll switch sides. Trevor should have played this ball over to Abbas, who should have taken it in towards goal and either created a shot or passed it off to Ahmed, most likely taking the shot. As Ahmed receives the ball here, he should look to go forward towards the net. We were already heading towards goal. When Bilal receives the ball here, he should take one touch, then play it to Trevor. He took an extra touch, which allowed the goalie to come closer and push Trevor further down the line, making it a near impossible chance to score. Whereas if Bilal would have played it off the first or the second touch to Trevor, he would have had a much closer lane to score. Otherwise, Bilal should have tried to beat the defender and take a shot on goal. Ahmed should have shot the ball short side. You can see that the goalie's covering the far side of the net, and typically when a player's on a breakaway, shooting the short side is the easiest way to score. Communication is essential between the player that's passing the ball in and the player that's receiving the ball. In this case, Nate's passing the ball to me. I tried to turn to the left, however, there's 4 defenders surrounding me. In a situation like this, it'd be most wise if I were to take the ball back towards the player rather than to try to turn. On this counter attack, you can see that Ahmed is playing closer to the player with the ball than to the man running on. It would have been more wise if Ahmed had played right in between the two players, as to really give the attacking player no leeway one way or the other. Abbas executed the same move twice perfectly. Doing it a third time here would have been perfect, as he would have been able to gather momentum to go to the short side. They would have had a great chance to either pass it across the box to the 2 men open on the side or shoot it into the bottom right corner. Rather than playing the long ball off the kick-in, it'd be much better if you just played to me centrally or to whichever player is there centrally, as we could dribble the ball into space and then play a through ball from a running position rather than a standstill position. In this position, Abbas should have played the ball across the field at this moment and gotten it back, or he should have taken it down the line. Rather, Abbas had dribbled towards the defender and really closed down his options. Here, Abbas should have turned around, as he had a lot of space going down the left side of the field. Rather, he had gone the same way that he had started, which made it very difficult. Also, Nate, who's running down and doing the overlapping run, should be very vocal, letting anyone who's in the central know, whether it's me, whether it's Abbas, whether it's Trevor, that you're coming down the side for the open lane. A lot of times when we have wingers going up the sides, we can play it up the middle as well. A lot of times there's options open in the center of the field that we don't always have to dribble it up down the field. Another thing that I think our team struggles with a lot is playing complex passes when a simple pass is available. Ahmed is open with a lot of space on the left side, and Nate decides to play a ball through the middle towards Abbas. It's almost never the right play to try to play it deep when there's a simple pass playing short. Although this was a difficult ball to receive, as soon as I got into my control, I should have kept on going down the line rather than turn it back into pressure. It's always better to lose the ball going forward than it is to lose the ball going backwards. As soon as Trevor receives it, he should look to pass the ball. I find that both me and Trevor do this a bit, where we hold on to the ball too long. We should really look to, as soon as we get a touch, play it to the man that we see. Even though it might not be a perfect pass, it's usually better than holding the ball too long. In this scenario, Abbas is receiving heavy pressure from the back, and he's not moving at the fastest pace. So the best option would be to just play it forward into the space that's in front of him, rather than to play it to the side, as there is heavy pressure upon him, both from behind and in front. If he were to pass it down the lane into the space that Ahmed's running into, even though it may not be a perfect pass, it would still be a much greater threat than to play it across the field. Another thing that we struggle to do is to open our bodies when we receive the pass. Even if it were a bad touch, Bilal really should be calling for the ball, as he had 0 defenders around him, and it seems like a guaranteed goal if he receives the ball in this situation. Whenever we make overlapping runs as defenders, we should really call for the ball. Kalen should have called for the ball in this instance, and he would have had an open shooting lane. As stated before, when there's a chance on the short side, the player should shoot the ball short rather than to shoot it across the net. The goalie's always covering the far side of the net. This is a perfect example of how to take advantage of a counter attack. As soon as Abbas gets the ball, he takes a touch towards the inside and then shoots the ball short side, fooling the goalie and putting it past him.